behind me is arguably the biggest turd the automotive industry has squeezed out in the last 15 years. The Nissan Juke. Now there's approximately 5.5 billion reasons to hate the Nissan Juke, but let's start with the obvious one. The fact that it was quite clearly Stevie Wonder's dog that designed this thing. It is utterly hideous to look at. The headlights are absolutely awful how they raise up. It's got this weird sort of like smiley face, but quite frankly it just looks simple. The back's not much better either. Oh, and the boot is like pathetically small. On the inside, the misery continues with not only the world's cheapest and nastiest gear lever I've ever experienced, but it's got these ridiculous floor mats which looks like something out of an 8-year-old's bedroom, and generally just the fit and finish of this thing is horrible. It's also worth noting this is a 2018 car, and yet this screen looks like something off an iPhone 4. Oh, and in the back of this thing, not only do you literally touch the roof and have no space anywhere, but just the entire cabin has about as much space as an Iraqi jail cell. It's worth mentioning it is utterly appalling to drive. Two worst cars I've ever driven. It's definitely between this and one of those old MG SUVs from about 10 years ago when they were being squeezed out of communist China and first into the UK market. Finally, the gearbox in this car is one of the most dreadful things I have ever experienced. It refuses to change gear, goes around everywhere at about 4,000 RPM and makes the noise of a dying cow. To conclude then, the Juke is one of the worst cars I've ever driven, and frankly you have to be soft in the head to buy one. And to be honest, just being around it kind of makes me sad. If you think about Nissan, particularly in the 90s, they slapped out some unbelievable cars, and they weren't all expensive. Stuff like the Pulsar was very, very cool, and yet somehow they've ended up squeezing out utter crap like this.